traditionally there, they eat coca leaves. So coca, the plant coca, you chew it, you keep it in your inside of your cheeks, and that helps you with the altitude sickness. The lighting is not so good here, but I will give it a try.
Okay, you look.
What about here?
Yes, much more better. I'm like about your name. I want to say, I think I had a friend, Francesca, and I keep saying that, Francisca.
Francisca, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I forgot my question, but 1 second. I have a question.
You got it.
I don't
worry, don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Let's start over. So I'll ask you the question again.
Hi, everybody. I'm Francisca. I am from Chile, originally from Santiago, so the capital. Time to travel to Chile. It gives everybody a really good ground base of what to know about Chile before going. And yeah, there's also a couple more.
Which you want to keep secret, I believe.
Yeah, so they can read the book, right? No, but they're really good. I think Frutillar is one of the good ones that people don't really know, because there's another very touristic city right next to it called Puerto Varas, and people usually just go there, even though there's many beautiful small towns around it where you can get a little bit more of a relaxed stay. So you will get to see all of these little hidden gems and my recommendations of where to go.
Hi, Francisca. So tell us about yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Francisca. I am from Chile, from Santiago. And together with EasyMark Publishing, we're about to publish a book, Time to Travel to Chile. So it gives all travelers and all tourists that will eventually go to Chile an opportunity to get to know the country from a local perspective. So it really the book really has some good insights on where to go, what to see. So it's great for everybody.
And what do you think? What are the surprising facts about Chile that you discovered while writing your book?
I've been traveling around Chile for many years, ever since I was little. And I really thought I knew the country very well. But once you go a little bit deeper with the research, hidden gems, sort of places that I also never been to. And so everybody who gets the book will get to see what those places are. It's just stunning. Chile is so diverse that there's really a million and one things to do and to see, and they're all just beautiful.
Okay, you mentioned about the hidden gems. Could you please mention a few of them?
Right. So I would say the one that it's getting a bit more discovered now is a town in the south of Chile called Frutillar. It's a beautiful musical city. It's right by the Yanquihue Lake. You can see the 3 volcanoes in the back. It's a small town, but really beautiful, and it's just a great place to be. So yeah, I would recommend everybody who goes to the south of Chile to go to Frutillar.
What makes Chile special?
That's a good question. So I would say that definitely it's diversity. So Chile is it's the ideal place for anybody who likes nature, who likes to see beautiful places, unique places. So in the north, you have the Atacama Desert, the driest desert in the world. Then in central Chile, you have Easter Island with these Moai statues and a culture that is so unique. And then in the south, you have the Patagonia region, which is also a really stunning, beautiful place. So if somebody is interested in nature, in natural resources, flora and fauna, Chile is the ideal place to go. No questions asked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite dish?
I would say empanadas maybe. It's some sort of pastry that can be baked or fried, and you can also fill it with whatever you want. In Chile, if you go to the seaside, it's commonly filled with like seafood and cheese, but the most traditional way to do it is mincemeat and onion.
How you pronounce it?
Empanadas.
Empanadas. And is
Yeah.
it like popular in other countries or that's
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Actually,
heard
yes, in
about
South
that.
America it's very common. In Argentina they have it, and I guess somewhere in Central America, but everybody does it a bit different, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Anything you would mention that tourists need to be aware of before visiting there?
Right. So it all depends on where you decide to go. For example, if you're more drawn to the desert, you have to be aware that in the Atacama Desert, the altitude is around it's anything from 2,400 up 3,500. So
Oh,
it's a really high altitude, and a lot of people get altitude sickness, right? And something to be aware of for sure.
climate is what people need to be aware of before like coming there, yes?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What would you do if you had 1 week with unlimited budget in Chile?
1 week is nothing really. It's not so much time if you want to see all the top places. So in the book, I give two options of 1 week stay, one focusing in the north of Chile and another one in the south. Because I think not everybody likes both contrasts, the desert and then the Patagonia, which is really rough weather, forest and whatnot. So if I have 1 week, I will probably go to the Atacama Desert, and then I will go to Easter Island, and then I will go southern to the Patagonia.
Can you mention top three beaches in Chile that
Wow,
were
top three beaches.
visited?
Okay, so as you may know, so Chile it's around 4,200 kilometers north to south. So we have a lot of the Pacific Ocean, so a lot of sea, a lot of ocean, right? Coastline we have more than enough. Their best beaches, I have to say, they're in the north. So anywhere near Antofagasta or Iquique. So I would say the number one most beautiful beach is in the national park Pan de Azúcar, if I'm not wrong. So this is in the far north of Chile. And it just looks like something out of just crazy. It's just so beautiful, like really turquoise waters, white sand, just kilometers of beaches. And then at the back, you have some beautiful mountains and whatnot. So I would say that's the number one place. Then you have Bahía Inglesa, which is also up in the north.
Yeah.
And then anywhere in the Central Valley, central area. So maybe Viña del Mar, Concón, maybe Algarrobo. So these are all just small beaches. But anywhere in the north, it will be stunning to go to the beach.
And what are the top three hikes in Chile?
Top three hikes, right? So, well, there's a lot. I would say the number one place is in Villarrica National Park, where it's one of the most touristic places because you can hike to the top of an active volcano, which is the Villarrica volcano. And this is really like something crazy for tourists, I guess. So I think that hike would be number one because it's the most requested and the most loved, and tourists are very enthusiastic about that. So Villarrica volcano, then I would say somewhere around the Los Lagos region. So you have a bunch of national parks in the south, and hiking and trekking you can do it everywhere. But yeah, somewhere there because climate is not so rough. And then number three, I would say Torres del Paine. You have many hiking trails, but also that is for adventurous people because the weather is very crazy. Like sometimes the wind will just blow you away. Not literally blow you away, but it's really tough. It's really tough. So, but it's a beautiful, really rewarding hike. So yeah, those are the top three.
And what do you think? Why your book could be one of the best, or maybe the best travel book about Chile?
Right. So I'm really proud of what I've written. I've mixed a lot of research together with personal experience of traveling in my country for so many years. So I really think I bring something new to the table, something that people can really learn from, because I didn't only list the places where you have to go, hidden gems or whatnot. I also mix some of Chilean culture, indigenous culture, that will really give everybody a right understanding of what Chilean people are, of what Chile is and what it came from. So it's not just only a travel book. It has some meaning behind it, some emotion, some soul. So I guess that's also really unique and important.
Yes, and maybe you could go a little deeper in that topic about the cultural layers you touched in the book.
Right. So, like I said, Chile is very diverse with its landscapes, but also with indigenous culture. So before we were colonized by the Spanish, of course, there were indigenous cultures living all throughout Chile, right? Dozens, all different types of indigenous cultures. So in the north, you have the Atacamas, and then in the south, you have the Mapuches, for example, which is the ones that really remain past the years, Mapuche people that you still find to this date in Chile. So they're indigenous people from Chile, right? Like 100%, let's say, Chilean people, right? Every indigenous group has such important features that make that area unique, that shape their gastronomy, their cuisine, their music, the festivals that you see. So in the north, you have, for example, the Tirana festival, where people dress up in really colorful garments and they dance through the street. And it's some sort of religious celebration, right? And in the south, you have some other traditions. For example, in Chiloé Island in the south, you have the Minga tradition, where people, for example, like different neighbors, they sort of organize to move one house, like an actual whole house, from one place to another.
Oh, wow. How do they do it?
Yeah, so they use animals, they use their own strength, because these are like wooden houses, of course, not so big. We're talking about something small, right? And there's a whole festivity behind it, a whole value of solidarity, of cooperation, of, and all these values I want tourists to get to know, because they're so really important for Chilean people and all culture.
And maybe can you mention a couple of family-friendly activities that you will recommend people to do?
Right, family-friendly. Okay, so I would say that's a really good question. Because when I think about Chile, I think about adventure and exploring. That might be an ideal place for families, for some families, not for all of them. But yeah, there's also, I guess, look, nearby Santiago, where's the capital, there's a lot of vineyards. And they also, of course, so it has a little bit for everybody. So the vineyards offer also a workshop for the kids, or they also do like mountain biking. And so it has a little bit for the parents, a little bit for the kids. And it's a really calm place, really nice. So anywhere in the wine valleys, which is also Chile very known for. The beach, I would guess so. It's sometimes the sea can be a little bit rough, maybe not for all kids, right? If they're too small. But also in the south, there's a bunch of lakes, and that is, I would say, the ideal destination. So very calm lake destination is, I think, ideal for families. There's a lot you can do, I guess.
And is it safe for solo travelers to be in Chile?
That's a good question. So solo traveling is, first of all, not for everybody. You have to be a certain type of people to adventure yourself for solo travel.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I also wrote about that in the book. One of the most important things if you're traveling to Chile is to know at least some basic Spanish, because a lot of people don't speak a second language. If you do, fine, great, and people will be super, super nice with you. But for solo travelers, if you are going to travel solo to Chile, make sure you learn some Spanish, the numbers, some basic, and always keep your belongings to yourself, just like you would anywhere else. You have to do it in Chile as well, especially in the big cities. For example, Santiago and Valparaiso, which are really huge cities that you never know if you might get mugged or pickpocketed, because you just have to look a little bit more humble in those big cities and keep things to yourself, not flash nothing luxurious or anything. and you will be fine. But anywhere outside big cities, you don't need to worry about those things because it's really safe.
I see. You can tell us about your experience with EasyMark Publishing and the mission we are focused on, and what you've learned and what other people can learn, and just anything you want to share with anyone who listens.
Right. So I'm really glad that I get to publish this book together with EasyMark Publishing, because the value and the mission that they have, it goes further than just a travel book. It's something deeper than that. It's about bringing young women authors together and give them a platform to talk about their country, their values, again, their culture, and things that are meaningful for them. So I'm really happy, and I feel really lucky that I get to publish this book with EasyMark Publishing. And yeah, this is something that also people ought to know about this travel series. You know, it comes from a really good place.
Okay. Oh yes, I remembered. So let's say you mentioned about some basic Spanish words and phrases to be knowledgeable before visiting to Chile. Maybe you can teach me a couple of them.
Yeah, of course. So in the book, there's a whole section for Spanish words, numbers, all the basics, right? But in Chile, everybody knows, I guess, if they have some knowledge of South America, we speak a really weird Spanish. It's called Chileno, which is just slang, right? Just 100% crazy Spanish. It's Spanish at the end, but we have so much slang that sometimes it could be really hard to understand us. So some typical Chilean words that you will hear 100%. Let me think about it. I can only think about bad words right now. Wait.
I guess that's okay.
Wait. Okay, I would say bacán, number one. So bacán, it's a word that bacán, perfect. It's a word that we only use in Chile, and it means that something is cool. Something is nice, bacán, really cool. So
if I see a hotel that I really like, I say, wow, bacán.
Super bacán, yeah. I mean, it's more for things that are like really cool, like fashionable maybe, or something like really interesting. But yeah, it works for that too. Another word, I would say cachai. Cachai is a very Chilean word.
Cachai.
Perfect. Oh, you said it
Russian to me.
You said it perfectly. So cachai is also a very Chilean word that you will hear 100% if you're in Chile, and it means, do you understand? Do you understand?
Such an easy way for so many words.
Yeah, so it's like a question, right? Cachai or no cachai? So we don't say entiendes, like, do you understand? That is too formal for us, I guess. So we say cachai instead. And another one, it's the word, I don't know why I can only think in bad words. Wait.
How do you say thank you?
Thank you is gracias. We don't have slang for that.
Yeah,
we don't have slangs for that. So just gracias, muchas gracias. Thank you, and just being polite, it really goes a long way in Chile. So keep that in mind.
As everywhere, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much, Francisca. It was really interesting to talk to you. I love your energy and the experience you shared with us. So, gracias.
Oh, thank you. Gracias a ti.
Good luck with the book. I hope it will be out soon, and I'm sure many Chilean lovers would like to have it and learn about many wonders that are hidden, or maybe some of them are very famous about Chile. Is there anything you'd like to add before we end our conversation?
I don't think so. I think I said everything.
Okay, then thank you very much for your time and for your work, and we'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Lilith. It was good. And stayed in the best hotels, which are also mentioned in the book.